was just looking for things on the. There we go.
Ooh, wee!
We'll get started here soon. We're just letting people load in. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm not showing up. Oh, what is that? What is that muscle? What is that? What is that? I don't know what that is. Oh.
It's like 2 minutes, and we're just waiting for people to jump in. I don't think I'm friends with Timmy here. I'll send you one from your page.
Just so everyone knows, we're playing 2 songs before we get started. They are homemade songs, so enjoy. You won't get them anywhere else. So how are we all doing?
Oh, you said Timmy John on Facebook. Got 2 people in.
Body stack the street, the Lexi me on some beat. It poison our brain while sitting in the backseat. Real was real sheets. The narrative, manipulated dishes. Generations they ask hearing it. And we all just sharing it, learning it, learning it.
Oh.
Can't just wait, it's our lives, they try to come.
I don't know how to make the volume right now.
You can make it, say you're stuck in the system.
Showing up sideways though.
Is this showing up sideways for everybody? Maybe if we do it like this. Check it out.
We're good. I was telling Quentin to just hold it, like just like this, like.
I could do that.
Yeah, if you want, it's a little more, a little better.
Ooh, wee!
Okay.
Darcy.
Let's get her started. All right, let's do this. Let me get the.
Let's get her started.
Gun on the side of the couch.
All right, Nation in Distress podcast. Steven.
Just Sky. Cute dude.
Cute dude. Sound like you said cute dude. I don't know. It's kind of gay.
What, you said I'm cute? Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Our topic today is going to be Roe v. Wade, abortion.
Controversial.
A little bit. I decided to actually look into it and kind of figure out like what the hell the entire decision was based on, and I was kind of just shocked by it. I was like, "Holy shit, that's what we allow abortion based on?"
Yeah, there's a couple things I did not know. Like something out from the outside.
It was ridiculous. So we're going to go into that a bit. But a couple things that happened as far as even just today. Trump was acquitted. I think it was 57.
I've actually been playing Bioshock, so I didn't notice that part.
They had to get a 2/3 majority.
Oh, sorry.
2/3 majority vote to get him essentially impeached or whatever, and they couldn't pull that off. But 7 Republicans did vote in favor of impeachment.
Yeah.
It just wasn't enough. So hopefully they are voted out of office next time their time comes around.
You get a look
And we'll try and get the names because they're being released and everything. It's public knowledge, but we'll get the names, put it out on the Instagram page and on the YouTube Probably in the
Probably
description of the channel.
There'll probably be some memes made out of him as well.
Yeah, I make a lot of memes about him.
Watch
Our
out.
guy here, our
Watch out,
meme
Swishy.
maker.
The meme master.
The meme maker. It's gonna be good stuff.
Follow me at It Ain't Easy Being This Free _ for spaces. I post good, yummy, spicy content. All homemade, fresh made memes.
Gluten-free?
Gluten-free memes. I'm kind of on a lefty kick.
Oh boy. Lefty kick. All
Yeah, I'm a
right,
right
cool.
kicker. I usually use my foot to kick, but yeah, that's cool. You know,
I just use
kick.
both at once. I'm just like,
Ultimate, what the fuck? It's like,
that's how I fight, dude.
sorry for the
I win
out,
every
guys.
time. I win every time.
So with the impeachment deal, what was your guys' thoughts on that? Because I thought that they were trying to essentially take the standard of what incitement of violence was, and they were trying to essentially twist it so that they could abuse that standard to attack someone that they disagreed with.
That's exactly what they're trying to. Exactly what they're doing. Because they didn't just like take Trump's quote like at heart is what it was in the entirety of it.
No, they clipped it up.
They literally clipped it up, yeah. And his lawyer pointed that out.
I think they had spent millions of dollars.
What's funny about that is the part of his speech that they really focused on saying that he incited violence was when he said you have to fight for your country, which set a precedent that using that speech is inciting violence. But then pretty recently, Kamala Harris in his speech said, like, you gotta fight.
Yeah.
We gotta fight. We gotta win this fight. Fight, fight, fight. Like a dozen times in his speech, showing that they have no consistent thought at all. Because they're using the same speech he did, but when they do it, it's not inciting violence. But even though when they burn down cities for months on end.
Yeah, most cities.
But Trump says you gotta fight for your country, which is a normal expression to use. It doesn't mean you're inciting violence.
Not at all.
And then when one instance of violence happens, it means he incited it. And it's really just because they want him out. They want to send a message to all of us that this is what happens. We're going to take down your symbol in the White House. And also, it's just so they don't have to run against him in 2024.
100%. I feel like what impeachment was all about was that they're terrified of him having any credence to run in 2024 or be a figure that's taken seriously.
Yeah.
Because they look at it like, oh, if you impeach somebody, they don't have any glory to them, glory to themselves.
Basically, they're trying to kill any person's opportunity to try to embody the Trump movement in the future by
The outsider movement, the free
What's that?
thinker. The outsider movement, the free thinker, the guy, he wasn't the established, Republican or fucking liberal. Like, he was an outsider, and they hated it so much, and you could tell by the way they treated him for 4 years. So
Trump's one of his defense lawyers yesterday. You mentioned that there's a video of Kamala Harris saying it like 12 times in like one video.
Oh, yeah. She said the word fight so many times.
Yeah. Well, Trump's defense lawyer yesterday did a compilation video since the beginning of Trump's basically presidency, and even before then, of like all these Democrats and politicians using the word fight, using that same figure of speech, whatever, but they used it multitudes of times in each and every speech they gave, and it was crazy. It's like, oh, you can definitely see the standard right there, just shattered.
yeah, they definitely shot back with the amount of just the sheer hypocrisy of them, the Democrats entirely. And another thing about Kamala Harris is one of the big figures that you talk about going after Trump. He was the president, talking about someone who's now vice president and has been in the limelight, right?
Yeah.
Her and along with other people like Maxine Waters and shit. Well, Kamala Harris was out there.
They're not welcome.
She was saying shit like promoting the bail funds for these people who are out in the streets burning this shit down and attacking people, and she was openly supporting it and saying they're fighting and they're not going to let up and they shouldn't let up. It's like you're openly saying like it's okay what you're doing by attacking people and burning shit to the ground and fucking up businesses.
Riots are the language of the unheard. Which who's more unheard than libertarians and conservatives?
Well, we want to go about that.
Anytime you post your voice on social media, it gets taken down.
I was listening to was it I can't remember, was it Mike Rowe on
Crowder?
I think it was Mike Rowe on Crowder. It was someone on Crowder. They were talking and they're like they're like talking about how did you see all the conservatives going out and protesting the day after? No, because they got jobs to go to. They have to go and work.
Yeah.
The fuck? Hi, I love you. Sorry, that's our ladies.
But yeah, it's like we have jobs to go to. You're not going to get the same crap. It's not It's not a, like with the Antifa and BLM, fully 100% believe it, man. They are a Democrat-funded activist wing of the
Also,
party.
most of them are comprised of basement dwellers or people on
Like Biden.
unemployment benefits, especially during COVID. It was really easy to get on unemployment, so they were taking that opportunity to just riot day in, day out.
Yeah. And they were paying agitators to go.
And they were
from
paying
state
it,
to
yeah.
state.
A lot of them were paid.
They're paying agitators to go state to state, put them up in hotels. They go out and they cause trouble. They have a volatile situation and they just add to it.
Through the bailout, the Kamala Harris bailouts, that's essentially her paying them to do these things because
She
otherwise
she
they
was
would have had the
campaigning
money.
for them.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, how is that not assignment bias when she's enabling them to specifically rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat.
Was it Maxine Waters who said, like, get in their faces?
Yes,
and
it was
at a
Maxine Waters.
restaurant?
And not long after that,
Make a crowd, make them
make
feel
a crowd.
unwelcome.
And not long after that, that's
Shut
when
them down.
Sandra, what's her name? Sandra B. Hucker, or whatever her name is. Huckabee Sanders, whatever.
Okay, yeah, Sarah
her.
Huckabee Sanders.
Yeah, there we go. I don't know her name.
She's running
not
for
long after
office.
that. Yeah, not long after that, she was harassed in a restaurant. Her family got kicked out of something.
Yeah,
Some restaurant called
Yeah.
Red something.
I know what you're
She got
talking
kicked
about.
out of that, and they're like, hey, all right, we'll leave. You
I
know?
remember hearing that. It's just ridiculous, man. It's absolutely unacceptable. And you know what? At that point too, when they went out to go and push for impeachment again, they failed, but they still tried to do it under the guise of this is what incitement means.
Yeah.
I'm literally like at the point now. It's like, okay, now go after Hillary because she's held some form of office. I don't know if impeachment's the right thing you would go for, but you'd still run incitement against her. You run incitement against every one of these Democrats. Kamala Harris, right now. She is in office as vice president. Run it against her.
Yep.
Run it right now.
Because they've all used the same exact figure of speech. If whether they meant how they meant it doesn't matter. They use the same exact figure of speech. Fight.
Well, they used
Multiple
it. I feel like they
times.
did it more so.
Oh no, definitely.
Well, they actually-
that's like part of the whole.
They
like,
didn't just do what is like an expressive term like fight. They literally gave orders and calls to violence, such as Maxine Waters saying, "Get in their faces, make a crowd." Like they have actually given detailed calls of violence,
Yeah.
which is a lot different than saying you gotta fight for your country.
Yeah, much different. I literally.
But they're not at all accountable for it.
No, but in that defense, that Trump's defense lawyer, yesterday, that's literally what you basically saw the trend amongst the Democrats was fight. They used the word fight specifically in so many different manners, and they repeated those same expressions over and over again in like multitudes of the same speech. It's like one speech they say like 10 times.
And they're not going to give up, and they shouldn't give up.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
they shouldn't
all it
stop
is.
fighting.
Yeah.
They're not going to stop fighting, and they shouldn't stop fighting. That is
In reference-
Kamala Harris, your vice president.
Yeah.
Same people who are trying to impeach Trump for saying patriotically and peacefully march on the Capitol. You're going to have to fight like hell to keep your country. That is political phrasing. And he said peacefully and patriotically, not these people are attacking the Capitol. Well, they should keep attacking the Capitol, and we should help them get out of jail when they do it so they can do it again. That's what the Democrats did to private citizens. That's what's even more insane to me. It's like, they did that to private citizens.
Yeah,
People, small business owners, people who are just in the street,
yeah,
out living their life, trying to make ends meet.
yeah. And who's to say the guy, the Antifa guy who shot the Portland who was like Patriot Patriot.
Well, yeah, shot him
guy.
in the head.
Yeah,
Punched
he-
him down.
Yeah, was basically assassinated right there, just murdered.
He was. We got a Trump right here. Boom.
That guy claimed to be full on 100% Antifa or something like that.
He
died in a shootout with the police.
Yeah, I'm
Police
kind of
fucking killed his
curious
ass.
what inspired him. He never said necessarily, and maybe it's just his buddies around him, whatever. But maybe he listened to some of the politicians up there on the Democratic side, and kept on hearing that fight in all these different ways.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'm gonna fight, but no one's gonna hold him accountable because that was just like this guy's standalone thought and act.
Well,
And
and
then, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say incitement is a very strict standard to what incitement of violence is. You would have to say, "Oh, you know what? I want you to go out there, go get you a Trump supporter, go kill yourself one, or go shoot yourself one."
Yeah,
that is
incitement.
inciting violence.
Yeah.
You can't just saying you got to go out there and fight like hell, go raise hell. Even saying raise hell. I mean,
That's still a figure
you're
of
still
speech.
saying it in a figure of
Yeah, but
speech.
you can raise hell non-violently.
Exactly, like what Trump was saying. Go there, protest loud, make your voice heard.
Just be
Because
consistent
all the rallies
and be
he's had.
rowdy and constantly march, constantly, like raise hell doesn't have to be violent, just like fight.
Verbally raise hell. Shake them up. Ruffle the feathers.
Because all you hear from politicians nowadays, too, is that this is the most important election of your life, and if you don't vote for me, then your children's lives are at stake.
That's just
your
us
life is
falling
at
for the
stake.
two-party system sham
It's
all
just
over
crap,
again.
dude.
Yeah.
That's why we need to just get rid of two-party system, I think. It's not working. It's all... Half the Republicans are fucking working with these Democrats, and, you know, they're all in big tech's bed together, and...
I vote for, like...
We need to ditch it.
I need to vote... I'd rather vote out all these softies, but in order for even voting to be a thing, all the voting laws that were, like, infringed on or tampered with before the 2020 election should be restored.
Yeah, those need to be looked at.
Mm-hmm.
And mass mail-in voting, again, should not be something that is done. You don't just, we're going to do it this year. We're just going to do it. Even these states that have never done it, you know, and pretend like everything's going to be fine and there's not going to be any issues and zero irregularities when we know for a fact there are lots of irregularities. Is it enough to change the election? We'll never know to say for sure because you guys didn't allow the fucking evidence to be seen in court. And that's the issue. Now people are just left wondering, like, is it a conspiracy theory? Is it not a conspiracy theory? Like,
there are still investigations going on right now. I guess there's one, one decent one in Arizona. They're still going through that. There's no details yet put out, but there's an investigation in motion right now in terms of the 2020 election. So
I want to know.
We'll see something out of that here soon.
I want to know about the whole. Was it Georgia or where the water pipe broke?
That was that Georgia? Was that Georgia? That was
Michigan or Georgia?
I think that was.
It was one of the ones. It was the only one
that
that
was in
said.
Michigan. I'm pretty sure that was in Michigan.
Yeah, they're like everybody has to go home. We're not going to count anymore as the water pipe broke, and then they found out
in the middle of the night.
no water pipe has been broke. Like there was no paperwork for a water pipe being broken.
And
It happened on election night. That's why everybody started going home.
Crowder covers this up. And it's funny because they said that's a justification for them to stop the counting. So then why did only a percent of the vast majority of the people that were counting that day were told to leave and they left? Why didn't 100% of the counters leave? Few of them stayed behind. If it's unsafe for the mass majority to stay, how is it safe for a few to stay? If there's such a water hazard going on, a hazardous leak, doesn't make any sense. Doesn't hold new water.
No, it's ridiculous.
And yet people's like, oh, there's no fraud, nothing like that. No, look at this, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Why they didn't allow this stuff with something so volatile? No matter what side you're on, why would you not want this to have been seen in court? So that it would gone through its court and it's either squashed or not squashed.
Exactly.
Right? Because now there's questions. No matter what you say, no matter how you look at it, it's always going to be a question.
Yeah.
And people are going... I mean, it's something so personal to everyone, and it's an American citizen, that it just goes from 0 to 1,000 when it comes to how angry you're going to get or emotional you're going to get about it.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when you're told your vote counts, whatever, and then you feel like it does not count. It's like,
and
you're wasting my time.
Their whole fucking thing now is unity, right?
Yeah.
We want unity. Dude, this guy, Joe Biden, the president right now, he has done over 50 executive orders.
Which again,
since the 20th,
50 plus, right?
Since the 20th of January, he's done over 50 executive orders. The same guy.
Which again, by his own standard and definition, before he won the election, that is how a dictator runs a country. If they're not able to get the votes, they put forth executive orders. He said that's how dictators run countries.
Let me give a shout out real quick. We got some people extra joining in. What's up, Ryan, Darcy?
Is Darcy still in?
I don't know if he's still in, but he was in. He commented. I'm just checking people that commented.
That's Ashley's dad.
Oh, jeez.
Uh-oh.
And then we got Timbo over there on Nation in Distress on Instagram. Hell yeah. Patriot Union.
What's up, brother?
Hola.
Let's go, dude.
¿Cómo estás?
How are you liking the channel?
So anyway.
Are we going to get on to the topic of the day? Because we've been going on impeachment.
Oh, I know. It's like it just happened, and then you got the acquittal, and you're
it's like PTSD, because we're still all butthurt about the election.
Yeah. It's like we made it through the
We're all going through all the voter fraud and all that. It's like, this is all old news.
All right, and then feel free, guys, to hit the comments up with any feedback, questions you have, and we just like to get the conversation extended to everybody else as well.
When you say that after we feel like we're good and done with the topic at hand today, we just on both Facebook and Instagram address all questions and comments that come in and just see where conversations from those comments.
Sounds good.
All right, yeah. So
Q&A phase.
It's a community.
what was it?
We're all Nation in Distress podcast.
It was a couple of weeks ago. They had a story pop up, and we didn't catch it in our last podcast. There we go. Joe Sondrin is in.
Crowd of 2024, I wish.
All right, Klinko is in. Let's go, dude.
I wish. He wasn't born in
Let's
America,
go.
so he unfortunately wouldn't have been around.
Some of our all-stars. They've been here since the beginning. It's awesome.
Klinko has actually been in one of our podcasts.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait. Sorry.
We really appreciate your guys' support. It really is awesome. You jump in and join the conversation. So,
I want to throw one thing
hit
out.
something real quick, and then we'll hit abortion for about 20, 30 minutes here.
Joe said crowd of 2024. He was actually born in America and then he moved to Canada. Does that mean,
He's a citizen.
so does that mean
He can
still
run.
And he was
He
born on
was-
U.S. soil.
Oh,
He
you
was-
guys are. Oh
he
my
was-
god, the left is done.
He was tickling the idea of running for, like,
He's running
office
for
in
his
Michigan.
state.
Yeah, in Michigan.
By all means, give
I don't think
give
he's
him a
got.
Whitmer.
I don't think he's got presidential plans yet.
Hey, that's fine.
If
That's
ever.
fine.
Right.
If he ever does go, he's
I
just
wouldn't
gonna
want
smoke
that
people like
fucking
joints.
I mean, at a certain point, though, man,
probably-
he's someone that could do it, and he's like, I see that I could, you know?
If one of us got that job, we'd be assassinated in a week.
Yeah, if you thought Trump was an asshole to idiotic
Media.
journalists, whatever, the media, imagine how Crowder's going to be. He's going to be a monster to them.
Yeah,
And I
right.
love the idea.
I'll tell you what.
Let's welcome in the faux journalists.
I tell you what, if Crowder were president, his press secretary wouldn't give you that "I'll circle back to you" bullshit this current one is.
I say bring Kelly, man. What's her, McElvaney?
Oh, Katie McEnany.
Yeah, bring her back.
Not
Dude,
only is she
let's go.
an absolute gorgeous doll, but she is a savage on the mic. She just rips
Yeah.
journalists like paper.
You know when your press secretary comes out with a book
Yeah,
this big
I was just gonna say
of what she's gonna
I
go
saw
over.
a compilation between her and the new press secretary. I can't even be fucked to remember her name. I call her Chucky. It's like there's just videos of her giving people just big ass books of binders, and then her with like a couple sheets. I'll circle back with you. She never circles back.
Yeah.
Watch the clip. She never circles back. She just avoids the questions. And
Okay.
most of the questions are hand-fed to her because she's part of the media. She's worked for CNN before she had this gig. She's always been a friend of the media. So this is not a free, fair, and open media. Sorry.
Not
just
at
a little
all.
tangent.
Not at all. I think we all know that, though.
And she still can't answer questions. That's how incompetent these people are. She can't even answer her pre-prepared, softball question. She has to circle back and then never answer it. That's how stupid these people are.
It's a continued trend from the Obama era because she was Obama's press secretary as well.
Well, I didn't know that.
I don't.
Yeah.
I know she was.
watching
I didn't
videos of
start-
it.
I
She had a part
She
in.
did the same dance around questions bullshit. It's like,
For one, during Obama's presidency, I was too young to really care about politics.
same here. I mean,
And
barely
two,
follow.
I didn't start.
Not even that,
I didn't pay
really.
attention to press secretaries till McEnany because she was such a savage and
Right.
she was entertaining to watch.
So was this before or after her soulless body got sucked into the doll of Chucky? Because
I think that happened at birth. So the doctor couldn't do anything.
It wasn't like in the movie where he has to
maybe
do
you
like
have
a
a baby, but it's
demonic
soulless.
thing to get into the. Yeah.
How
Okay.
do you wish to proceed?
No,
Moving
Biden-
on.
Biden's the one he learned that trick from her, and that's how he's staying alive.
It's okay. Here you go. I got one from
He
Joe.
snipped the soul right out of it.
Joe said in regards to Steven Crowder, if he was talking to the media, he would look at someone from CNN and be like, "Question from you, Gay Mike." What about you, sir?
Oh man, that's Stelter.
Brian Stelter. Oh my god.
Nuisance, honey.
Crowder
The nuisance
is the
question.
best. All right. So yeah, let's get on to Roe v. Wade. Looked into it because we saw a story. It was the 48th year anniversary of the decision of Roe v. Wade, and we're kind of shocked because we've seen it said that since that time, 62 million babies have been killed due to abortion. And so we did the math. We kind of looked at how many people live in America, and it was 320-something million people.
Yeah, I think we're in like the 370s, but it doesn't really matter. Staying.
Yeah, it was, I can look it up real quick.
Like
But,
current era now?
yeah, so whatever the number was,
Yeah.
300-something million, right?
Yeah.
As of in 2019, which was 2 years ago. And we did the math, 62 million, right? We looked at the percentage, what that is of our entire population from that point. Mm-hmm. And it was almost 19% of our entire population was lost to abortion, which is the killing of an innocent life in the womb. And so we kind of looked into that a little bit, and it was just like, holy crap. So then I got to thinking, what is the thing that makes abortion legal? Roe v. Wade, right? So we looked into that a bit, and it was kind of crazy. So it was 2 cases that got brought up from Texas and I believe Georgia, and they went to the Supreme Court where it was decided 7-2. Mm-hmm. It was an overall decision, essentially, you know. It's an absolute dominant decision to make this legal in the United States. And the things that make it legal is ridiculous because it falls under the privacy...
Right to privacy.
Right to privacy, which I'll kind of get into a little bit, but it's insane to me that that's what... Because it's private, it's allowed. You're allowed to kill an innocent life.
Yeah,
right.
Kind of. Yeah, it's a weird concept. Just by hearing that, it's like you're trying to run through your head, like, how does that argument even sustain itself?
Yeah. So the dude who wrote the decision for the majority was Justice Harry Blackmun, and he wrote the decision after a 7-2 win for them. He wrote the framework, and it was based on the 3 trimesters of pregnancy, but it had nothing to do with the science of fetal development or any medical development. It had nothing to do with that. It was just like this many weeks, this many weeks, this many weeks.
Yeah,
right.
They broke into 3s.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And they broke it into 3. Yeah, and so each trimester there was a certain amount allowed. So the first trimester, all abortion allowed entirely. Second trimester,
some restrictions.
It was some restriction. It was really vague because it was based on like your health of the woman, right? Like,
yeah.
And it could be mental health or
financial, all this kind of
financial,
it's
all
just
that.
a slew of things.
Which means anything.
It might as well be like the first,
Stub your toe, get an abortion.
Hey,
you can't do it. I can't hop on for it like this.
If you can't walk with that baby bump after you stub your toe, just kill the fucking baby.
Pretty much. Like, I'm a Democrat. Vote for me. But that's what they used to justify abortion at the 3 stages, and the 3rd stage was like under a severe circumstance. Which now, fast forward to 2021, certain states allow it up into birth and after, I believe.
Some have partial birth and after birth abortion.
So it's New York City's one of them, and they actually took. Is fucked up when they passed it. They took the World Trade Center memorial and they lit it up pink.
That is
in celebration.
That is
wasn't it
morbid.
The New York
wow.
governor, when that was passing, there was actually a snippet of audio from somebody asking him what all this really means. He was talking about how, like, for, like, after-birth abortions, because that almost sounds like a conspiracy theory, so I want to make it clear that the governor, I'm pretty sure, it's been a long time since I've looked into this, and in, like, an interview talking about it, he was like, okay, so we'll deliver the baby, we'll make sure the baby and the mother are comfortable, we'll take the parents aside, and we'll have a conversation on what we're going to do. So basically talking about, like, if they decide they don't want it, we'll take care of that baby for them. We'll keep it comfortable. We'll keep it, like, kind of in stasis.
And that's if an abortion fails.
Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't just like, oh, I had birth, now let's go find out what we're going to do.
Because, like,
if an abortion failed in the 3rd trimester, what are you going to do?
Because the law used to be that if, in a failed abortion, you could not abort the baby once its head came out. Like, once it's partially born, it could not be killed. So then they reverse that, which means, like, if they screw up and the baby starts coming out, they're basically killing a delivered baby.
Which is murder. So basically, the doctor goes from a...
It's not a clump of cells, everybody, and I hate that argument, because listen, I could fucking describe you to your most basic form as a clump of cells. That's all you are.
That's all you are.
It's a bullshit argument. Give me a good one. We're intellectuals.
Well, it's kind of funny you say there's a failed abortion, right?
It's like playing chess with babies.
There's a failed abortion, right?
But not dead ones.
And the baby winds up surviving the abortion in the 3rd trimester, right? And now there's this living baby.
Yeah.
Right? Not fetus, baby. And it's alive. And now you're going to make a decision if you're going to kill it or not. But before it was illegal because, like its life in the womb, which we should all agree on, it becomes life the moment its head pops out of its mom.
Yeah, so
right?
as the doctors...
So now it used to be, you have to try and keep it alive, right? You know, try and keep this baby alive because it's life, and we have to protect life. So you have the Hippocratic Oath of a doctor and all that other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now they want to, in New York City, like, you can have a decision whether or not it's okay to kill it or not. And it's kind of messed up.
Yeah. It's kind of... I'll putting this on a perspective. It's like the doc is either reaching for the baby barehanded just to pull the baby out safely, or the doctor's reaching for the baby with one hand and also grabbing a pistol off the tray in the other hand.
We have a podcast watching us, so I'll give a shout out. The Great Divide podcast, and you have a quote here, and it's pretty rock on here. He says, they'll just sell the baby that they kill to Hillary Clinton so she can eat it.
Oh, man.
Shot fired.
Thanks for the support, bro. We'll check you out.
All right.
It's a great source of protein.
Yeah, have you seen that video of
the...
voice? I can't remember her name. This came out a long time ago. Crowder did cover it. It was one of the runners of Planned Parenthood, and there was a hidden video of her at a dinner, like, making agreements, because believe it or not, abortion is a very lucrative business.
Extremely. That's why they do it.
And they're going over like kind of like giving, trading, selling, buying baby parts and stuff. And this woman who is one of the heads of Planned Parenthood currently, she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy a new Ferrari with this money." Like she's getting rich off of killing babies. Like, why wouldn't they want to kill babies? Then keep getting more and more legislation that makes it easier to kill more and more of them because they get rich off of it.
God forbid we can't.
They don't care about how hard your life is, so you have to kill your baby because it feels so bad for you. They want to make money off of your dead child's corpse.
Yeah, God forbid we don't have abortions. I mean, how else are they going to afford their Ferraris? That'd be a sad day.
And also, what happened to these Democrats that hate these big corporations and these people trying to make money off of, like, the small people's, like, pain and suffering? That's what they're doing with people. That's why there's so many, like, hidden video footage in Planned Parenthood of them trying to convince women who weren't sure about wanting abortions to get abortions because they get rich off of it. It's a big payday for them if they get to kill your baby.
Hitman.
We don't mean to sound so crass all the time.
I do.
I honestly don't, I don't have any anger, towards these women because
Not towards the women, towards these fuckers who lie to them.
They're being fed this.
Yeah,
This is what they're being told.
It's
This is your only option. This is what you should do. This is what you need to do. This is why it's so good to do this. It's not. If you guys ever want to learn more about that, Abby, what the hell's her name? Abby something. She ran Planned Parenthood. She was the youngest person to run.
Abby.
Is this the girl who got a movie made?
Yeah, the movie's called Unplanned, and it's very graphic and detailed, and
I still get to see it.
It's a really good movie to check out. It shows you an inside look of what Planned Parenthood's about, and it's a shit show. One of my favorite lines from that movie, and it's really dark, but she gets into an argument over one of the quarterly, the new year. They're going to talk about what they're going to do to up the numbers, for budget. And she goes, "We need to push more abortion." So Abby stands up and is like, "Why are we doing that when we're supposed to offer that as a last resort?" And she's like, gets mad at her. So afterwards, she kind of shuts her down and she goes out and talks to her and she berates her because she's the boss of her.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hey, how do you think we make our money? How do you think McDonald's makes money? Do you think it's off of the burgers? No. They break even on the burgers at best. They make their money off soda and fries. And that's what abortion is." And that's what she says to her. And it's fucked up. And I'm like, think about it, man. They do other things.
Yeah.
But they make their nut on abortion.
Yeah. If it wasn't for abortion, basically, they would be...
Actually, all they do is they take you in for, your mammogram, all that stuff. People say, "Oh, Planned Parenthood is, women's health and women's Medicare." But they're salesmen. It's like going to a car dealership. They're just trying to upsell you the whole time. And upselling, the best payday they get is getting you to kill your child.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're slapping the belly of a woman. There's a lot of tools you can fit in this one. Got a harpoon gun, this guy.
This belly's got so much death in it.
Yeah. Just a harpoon gun.
And I don't know if this is still a thing or not, but they probably still don't, but they used to not, they tried not to show you your ultrasound because you would get you have an attachment to
and
it.
They don't want
you to see the humanity in
the only reason they would take the ultrasounds is what I was reading and what I've been hearing, and I think it's in the movie too, is that they would take the ultrasound, they wouldn't want to show you it, but they would do it so they could say, "Well, how much money is this one worth?
How big is this one? How much
big
tissue
is
are we
this? How much
dealing
tissue?
with?"
All of it.
So they're actually getting a price on the weight, whatever. It's like a pound of meat.
It's a quick. They tell you it's a quick and easy thing, but the lady in that movie, she actually goes through multiple abortions before she has her awakening moment, and it's not a quick and easy thing. It's quick, but it ain't easy. She almost dies.
Because of the
operations. They tell you not to. You go home and you're on your bed rest and stuff. They tell you, "Call us. Do not call 911. Do not get an ambulance right to the hospital. You call us and we'll come to you." Because they don't want you going in there with a fucked up abortion issue.
Jeez.
Because the health problems that come along with it's bad.
I don't want that getting out.
Yeah, God forbid.
They don't,
God protect that Ferrari.
We'll get that one out.
And let's just talk about the psychological effects many women suffer from after abortions.
Mental, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them get borderline suicidal, if not suicidal, sadly. They get
stays with you forever.
Yeah.
Well, some people, I've met a couple can just have as many abortions as possible, and not feel guilty about it at all.
But I think they would feel guilty if they finally kind of see the truth behind it.
Well, yeah.
They would be like, I've been lied to. Like, oh my gosh, what have I done?
Yeah,
you
they'll
see
think
it,
back
you
to
know?
that. Yeah, probably think back to the moment and be like, so
it's-
that's what baby was going through when I had that thing, when I had that operation, that whole thing going down.
The whole awakening moment for her was she had to help on an abortion, and she had worked there for so many years and has never been in the operating room for one. And it was one of the ones, an ultrasound abortion. So they have an ultrasound going, you can see the baby, and then they have like a suction that brings like a vacuum rips the baby to pieces because it's not developed enough to where it's strong enough to sustain that.
Yeah.
So essentially, they're like, the whole thing is they don't feel anything, they don't feel, they don't know, nothing.
They
right?
develop the nerves essential for pain.
That baby
like 18
twisted.
days in.
That baby twisted and fought to get out from the foreign object.
Fight or
And
flight.
she goes, "Oh my gosh, the baby just moved." And the doctor goes, "What are you talking about?"
I didn't.
They always move. That's what he said to her. And she was like, "What the fuck?" And then she like broke down, and that was her moment. Like, what the fuck have I done those last 6 years?
Yeah.
And it's a powerful movie.
I've already just knowing that if it's trying to fight for its life, it's alive.
It's alive, period.
If it's fighting back, it's alive. I mean, even if it's not fighting back, it's still alive. Conception.
A heartbeat
Right.
is the universal sign of life, and they get heartbeats, I think, within the second trimester? I think it's pretty quick. They develop a beating heart pretty fast.
Yeah.
Universal sign of life.
Yeah.
There is all the
It's
other...
not alive, though. It's your clump cells. Nope, not gonna hear you. Nope.
We'll let you jump into this.
Okay, well.
I was going to say, because we got in a couple comments, Joe and the Great Divide podcast both have brought up a good point, too, about how Planned Parenthood, and it kind of ties into the Democrats and this whole idea of what party is racist and all this stuff. And, Democrats, they're the ones that utilize Planned Parenthood, and Planned Parenthood is, they're saying, is found in predominantly minority neighborhoods.
Targeted, specifically there.
Targeted. So I'll let you guys jump into that because you guys know a little bit more on that section of it, and I'll...
Oh, about that?
All right.
I'm vaguely on that.
Big D Tony's gonna hop in on this one. For those of you who don't know, a lot of people do know, Planned Parenthood was founded by Margaret Sanger, a known eugenicist.
Speak up, bro.
A known eugenicist and white supremacist who created the act of abortion and Planned Parenthood to, quote, she was trying to basically lower the black population because she didn't want them getting out of hand and too widespread. And with how long African Americans have been in this country, sadly, for the reasons they were, they should be about equal with Caucasians and other races by now. But the thing is they get aborted at a far, far higher rate than any other race of child in this country, which is why, still to this day, they are among a minority race in this country. So what I'm saying is Margaret Sanger's eugenicist plan for Planned Parenthood is still very much in effect as she designed, which is very sad and depressing. Comments?
So I guess I'll come off that. It sounds like what she's doing, what she set up to do, is still somewhat meeting some degree of success.
If you want, go to Google, type in Margaret Sanger.
Go ahead, keep going.
I don't really know too much more about it, but I do. I'm pretty well aware that that was the whole plan from the get-go, was to target.
I'm gonna have
black
Steven look
community.
it up because I don't know it by heart, but there's a quote from Margaret Sanger, like literally detailing out what Planned Parenthood is for as far as the black community.
The mission statement, so to speak.
Basically, and it's gonna be hard to read it. It's so racist and just disgusting.
Great Divide podcast also threw in that, Democrats are also the party of racism and segregation.
And the KKK.
Yep.
And the white savior Joe Biden, who's saving us all from our racist selves, has attended a eulogy for a KKK member.
Robert Byrd.
Let's not forget Robert Byrd.
Yeah, I was about to say, how racist was that? You're trying to get more on the Margaret Sanger. How racist was her mission statement for Planned Parenthood compared to Joe Biden's 1994 racial jungle, super predators, the whole gun bill.
It makes that look like the most pro-black statement ever. Because this is...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, bro.
Biden's going to be pissed.
She's literally trying to eliminate them by having them feel the need through convincing to kill their own young until their population just keeps going down and down and down until they're no more in this country because she didn't want them in this country.
Oh,
so,
man.
And Steve made a good point. If you go to a predominantly black area, there's a lot of Planned Parenthoods around.
That makes sense.
And that's, you want to know why? It's not just for Margaret Sanger. Because, I doubt that a lot of people in Planned Parenthood are like, oh yes, our Lord and Savior Margaret Sanger, we gotta kill the black. I doubt it, because a lot of them are lefty, and a lot of lefties are, I think some are racist, but they're not aware of it. They're like, they're racist in a weird way, not a hateful way, but they think they need to be the white savior, which is racist. It's like,
yeah, like
they're not weaklings who need you.
Yeah, like they're not incapable of helping themselves out.
Exactly, and a lot of them aren't even in a every race is in a bad place.
Yeah.
There's a certain percentage in bad places. You got white trash, and I use white trash because I'm white.
I'm trash.
I'm white, not trash. Everybody's got issues. I will say the black community has had a lot more issues, and I think a lot of it is due to this because they haven't had enough representation because their numbers have been so low because of things like this. Mm. And they're in these communities. But anyways, you got me going on a track. Also, back to how abortion is so lucrative. Why else, aside from the Margaret Sanger stuff, do you think they'd have so many in predominantly black areas and poor communities? Because that's where the money's gonna be, dude.
I guess so. That's what they're appealing to, and it's kind of like it's become a trend within that community. It's like, well, now we just sit here because they just think that the way of life. I guess, but some people might think it's like setting up those communities.
It's like setting up gun shops in redneck areas. That's where they're gonna make their money.
Yeah. They know they're gonna come back and buy some more guns, even if they're well equipped already.
Exactly.
I already have 30,000 rounds. I need one more box.
How you doing on that quote, Steven?
So this might be one of them. One of her quotes here. I'm on the Daily Signal. It's like 10 quotes from her. But one of them says, Sanger advocated a, quote, a stern and rigid policy of sterilization and segregation to the grade of population whose progeny, I don't know what that word is already tainted, or whose inheritance is such that objectionable traits may be transmitted to the offspring.
What is that?
So I think it's saying like if
you're your descendants, your life,
you're poor, you're poor. Like everyone just keeps living this poor life. It's almost like you want to sterilize it so you can cut that branch off the tree
rather than helping it.
Rather than helping it bring it up, they want to just cut it off. Just kind of like abortion, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at it as a problem. Let's cut it away from you and just pretend it didn't exist.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
And that's man.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, go what you're gonna say because it pisses me off. But
I feel like this motto, this anti-black motto coming from Margaret Sanger, like flows with the same. In that 1994 crime bill, speak whatever you want to say that Joe Biden gave. He basically said he basically admitted to we created the problem, we created these people, blah blah blah. And in that same thing we were saying super predators and racial jungle, whatever. He basically laid admission to like we created the problem as if he's a
and then he's like, and then he was like, but it's not our problem to deal with or something like that.
Yeah, like typical double speak, double think. The fucking 1984. But it is just so funny. He makes an admission to it that he's aware there's policies out there that created this issue, and instead of trying to help them out, he'd rather call them racial. You basically
racial predators.
Super predators,
and
equate them entering the rest of society equally as a racial jungle in a derogatory manner. It's just funny. It's just funny. But Biden's not a racist, guys. Even if you didn't vote for him, I mean, you may not be black, but he's still not racist, even though that's the declaration.
I used to be black, but then I didn't vote for Biden, and
that's it. And now you went full ginger, man.
I went ginger beard. I went
no melanin means no soul.
Lost it, dude. Yeah.
Nick Cannon. Yeah, shout out Nick Cannon.
He's going back to work soon. They got over that little debacle.
Oh man,
he got to come back from being canceled.
He's back.
That's insane. Oh, I wonder if they're gonna bring back who's that woman that got? Oh, she had to sit down. Roseanne Barr.
Roseanne.
Yeah, when are they gonna bring her back with her TV show?
They're not.
If they can bring back Nick Cannon, they can bring back her.
They're not.
Without exception. Oh, with complete yeah. I know they're not, but it's unfortunate. It's stupid that they do that.
Gina Carano, who was on The Mandalorian, just got booted from the show.
Yeah.
For saying that Republicans are being persecuted, similar to the early days of the Holocaust before they started gassing people and stuff. She was just saying like, you know, like they tell us we can't speak. They say they write us off as these terrible people, which is exactly. People said she was like, the plight of the Republicans and conservatives and libertarians is not that of the Jews. How dare you do that? How dare you undermine the Holocaust? It's like, that's not what she's doing. She's saying that the tactics you're using to demonize people who don't agree with you is what the Nazis did to the Jews before they got everyone on board to start gassing them and killing them.
Yeah.
They got everyone. You think they could just do that? Like, oh, let's just kill the Jews. No. People would be like, wow, that's my neighbor, bro. That's my, what are you doing? But no, they got everybody slowly through propaganda and censorship to hate these people. So they felt like they were a problem that needed to be just taken out. So she's not wrong, but they fired her for that. They fired her for, being a Republican, for being kind of like, she made one joke where I'm like, it's not cancelable, but she said her pronouns are beep boop bop.
I love it.
And then she's been critical of the all these COVID mandates
and the election itself
for a virus with a 99.97 survival rate. And this was supposed to be 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and here we are over a year later.
And them talking about us going for another year.
And that's another thing to think about, people. When the government takes a liberty from you, for a precaution, for your safety, of course, for your safety. It's for you.
Only.
They don't give it back. I doubt we'll ever totally end restrictions. The COVID's always going to be a threat, even if only one person gets it per year. It's still out there. It still could spread.
Yeah.
Stay indoors. Wear a mask.
Watch
it's
out.
going to be China.
No. Did you wear a mask? It's plural now.
Oh yeah, you
wear
wear the whole fucking box.
2, 3.
Well, it goes to show you, too, the government will go to no lengths. They have no shame. They'll use anything and everything they can. Democrats especially will use anything and everything they can to grow the scope of government, to test the laws and limits of how far they can go to restricting rights, all of it.
See what the retaliation is from the people.
And,
It's about.
And so many people are like, well, this is a pandemic, blah, 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 blah. Guys, there's always a reason for governments to exercise tyranny on you. Your job is to call that shit out and say, I'm sorry, but no. Because there's always a reason. It's always for your safety. But then it never stops. You never get your rights back, and you let it go. You let your liberties go. And that's happened everywhere. You think these dictatorships throughout history just were like, hey, we're going to be a dictatorship now. And everyone was just like, oh, that sucks. I don't like that. They're like, well, too damn bad. No, they get you to vote in those policies. Hitler got people to vote for him.
Times Magazine Man of the Year.
Man of the Year, propaganda.
Way to go, liberals.
It's also that you noted that once they take a certain right away, or they do some overreaching law, they don't retract it. They leave it there. For example, they had the estate tax, which is basically a tax on when you die. The government takes your money just because you're dead.
I'm gonna pull all my money out before I die and bury it.
I hope you do. But they basically started that. They enacted that whole law specifically to fund a war, which I believe was some Spanish war, which is like in the early 1900s, I believe. And I believe that the estate tax is still alive and well, ironically.
It is.
Alive and well. Death tax. Alive and well.
Yeah, the death tax. The government will steal your money even after you die.
Yeah, which is stupid. It's like, even though that money's already been taxed multitudes of times.
Our founding fathers would laugh at us.
They'd be like,
for the shit we take. They started a civil war over a tea tax. And here we are getting taxed after we die and all this stuff. And we're just like, okay, all right.
It's only 2 wieners in my...
I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't want to cause no trouble. Oh, another gun law? It's okay. I'll abide by it. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Fuck these fake patriots who just take all this fucking shit, all these things, and just go, oh, well, I'm a law-abiding... Fuck your laws! This is tyranny, bitch!
U.S. Constitution. Those are the laws to abide by. And
That's something you said earlier, yeah. Because, like you made a comment earlier. I don't know if it was a meme you saw. What you said? You said, it's so infuriating seeing that people get mad at us for getting infuriated by government officials creating unlawful laws, but then everyone else gets mad at people for not following unlawful laws.
So there's a meme. So what really grinds my gears? Politicians who violate constitutional laws are not punished, but the people are punished for violating unconstitutional laws. How is that a thing? That doesn't make any sense. And it's, what am I trying to go with this? It's mind-boggling that we have people who take an oath and they stand by the oath while at the same time contradicting it by enforcing unconstitutional laws. Does not make any sense. It's like, did they actually read the oath, or they just kind of skim through it like a, some in a magazine waiting for a tooth appointment or something?
I do.
Okay.
While we're on the Constitution and Founding Fathers, I do want to point out that, again, how disappointed our Founding Fathers would be in us today as patriots. Because Thomas Jefferson himself said that, basically just the way government works, no matter how good, no matter how low, is always the same. And he said there should be probably a new insurrection about every 15 to 20 years. There hasn't been one, except for the one over fucking slavery and that stupid one.
I feel like...
We just take it. It's fine.
But see,
I'm a law-abiding citizen.
You were corrected on your Civil War comments. So
Was I?
Klinko and Sondran, you meant Revolutionary War.
Okay, so listen. That's still...
Don't correct me ever again.
It's still technically...
No.
10 seconds.
But let him get it.
Hey, Joe, you dumbass. It was a revolution. It was a revolution from the patriot perspective because we were revolting. But the war itself, that was a civil war because it was a war amongst one country within itself. That's a civil war, just like our Civil War. There's the Confederacy. So technically, the Confederates were doing a revolution.
I don't think he's stating that your comments meant that it was in fact in some way considered a civil war or not a civil war. It's saying that you're talking about the historical event that was the Revolutionary War.
Yes.
And not the Civil War. That's all he was saying.
I didn't say it was the Civil War. I said they started a civil war. And that's what it was.
So
learn your terms, dingus!
He's getting on your case about maybe the possible conflation of Civil War.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Klinko just keeps coming in on it.
T-Tax! Get off my Lipton!
Alright, well, I want to just finish up what I was saying on the abortion thing. We'll come back real quick.
Okay.
So the the Justice, Harry Blackmun, who was the majority writer of the decision for Roe v. Wade, he concluded that a woman's right to have an abortion falls under the supposed right of privacy. The right of privacy was originated in 1965 in a court case called Griswold versus Connecticut. It stated that certain states' restrictions of contraceptions were unconstitutional because married couples have the right to go and get contraceptions under the right of privacy, right? And then they later on had another one. So another case came up. There was Einstrand, I don't know how to say it, versus Baird. It was another Supreme Court case that came up where it extended that same right for married couples to unmarried couples. And then this is where it's fucked up. This is where the right to contraceptives to people based on the right of privacy. That's when they could go and get contraceptives, right?
Basically, it encompasses everyone.
Roe v. Wade was then extended to this under the right of privacy to obtain contraceptives.
So it's like, dude,
abortion is not a contraceptive.
Yeah, but today it's treated as one.
It's treated as a birth control. It should not be treated. It should never have been treated as a birth control.
It's because those meanings have been conditioned to mean something else.
There you go.
Those meanings have been conditioned to mean something else.
It baffles me.
Yeah.
It goes even further because after the case was settled, Blackmun stated after the ruling that if prenatal personhood is established, the case for abortion in its entirety collapses because the right of that life is protected under the 14th Amendment. And what we know today is life begins at the moment of conception. A new genetic code is made, separate from the mother and the father. It's your own unique genetic code to tell you how tall you're going to be, all the different features you're going to have when you grow up and grow old. That's personhood.
You think the Supreme Court would recognize this? Like, oh wait, there's one amendment that they're saying supports Roe v. Wade, and there's also one that contradicts it itself. So the Supreme Court itself should be working independently to go and look this over again, like blah blah blah.
Well, when it was passed,
they should revisit it on themselves.
Yeah,
on their own
initiative. The reason it was passed is because they were able to get away with at that time. That they were able to look and say, we're going to dehumanize what a baby in the womb is. It is not life. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because there's no other way that the 14th Amendment doesn't apply to that. Because it is an individual. It has its own genetic code.
Yeah.
Like it is a living being, you know? And that's, I think back then they just were able to get away with that. That's what it is. And why they haven't gone back and looked at it now, and why they've brainwashed so many people, so many liberals. You know, feminism is the liberal party. Bullshit.
Yeah.
No, that's the pro-life party.
Liberalisms?
No, feminism should be the pro-life party.
That should be the pro-life party, yeah. It's pro-woman, whatever. Because if you have so many abortions, whatever, it damages your chances of actually having a successful birth in the future.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And it's also killing baby girls.
It's also killing, baby girls, yeah, exactly. So,
The whole case for Roe v. Wade relies on dehumanizing
You're right.
what a baby is. It means the only reason that Roe v. Wade exists is because they don't look at that as a living being, as a living, unique human being that's going to be. There's only one way life is created: man and woman. That is it. Sorry, not woman and woman, not man and man, man and woman.
Yeah.
It's the only way it's created.
Canceled.
It's
Been canceled.
to me,
Shut it down. We're canceled.
it seems like it seems like the pro-lifers see conception, see life being a conception, and it stays that way. It seems to be on the right, on the left, that at any time, a pregnancy, the baby is not a form of life. It's just a pinata.
I mean, honestly.
Maybe it'll become.
And the doctor brings the doctor brings his own stick. Don't worry.
Democrats, leftists, liberals, they're all the same thing to me nowadays. Because that party is just, the shit they push is so evil.
Yeah, they
It did
basically
not used to be that way.
no.
But
It happened so quickly underneath.
now
underneath Trump.
it's shout your abortion. Be fucking proud of it. And it's like, why in the hell, if you had to go and put yourself through that and take the life away from that child under whatever...
For your own convenience.
Yeah.
And again, they're brainwashed. Like, they literally are told these are their only option.
Yeah.
Adoption is a way better option. You can
Glad
go
you
and
said
find
that.
a couple instead of... I'm not saying foster care, because foster care is a horrible thing. Government-run institutions are fucking horrible. But adoption, there's people that can't have kids. There's people that cannot have kids.
Yeah.
They cannot conceive.
Yeah.
And they would gladly take someone. They take a baby and raise that baby.
I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people.
Tacos. Just kidding. Sorry. Chevy. Sorry, go.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck
Well,
up.
get on with it.
I'm glad you mentioned adoption and stuff because a lot of people who are pro-choice, I call it pro-abortion, they love to say, well, like, the foster care system's already so screwed up, those kids go to really bad homes sometimes, blah, 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 blah. It's like, do you not realize that the reason that is because most young couples who can't have kids of their own, they don't want to adopt a 12-year-old, they want to adopt a baby. Babies who are unwanted by their parents and are put up for adoption fly like hotcakes. There's almost like a bidding war from suitors who want to adopt the kid.
Wow,
They
I know
don't
that.
really go to the foster care system that often. And plus, if you think it's right to kill a child because you think the foster care system's bad, you think they might, again, all of these are maybes, mights, I don't know. You think they might go to a bad home. You think they maybe will have a bad time. Does that mean that kids who are currently in the foster care system or currently in a bad home, currently having not a good life, does that mean it is your right to go and kill that child because they're not having a good time or a bad life? Because if you're being intellectually consistent, you saying that it's okay to kill a kid so it doesn't go into the foster care system and go possibly, maybe, to a bad home, so that devoids its right to life, then what stops you from being able to kill some kid in foster care or in a bad home? You have to be consistent with your line of thinking.
They don't have consistency.
They
though.
don't.
Yeah.
And that's
They
what
have
I want to highlight.
Double standards.
No, you have to have consistency when they shit their pants.
Comes out as a solid.
Wait. A little grainy today,
You
guys. A
guys
little
wanna stay for
grainy.
dinner after this?
Oatmeal.
I don't know. What are you having?
I don't know. They're going to the store. They're asking me.
Sure.
I'll take a sandwich and some soup.
I don't got nowhere to be tomorrow, son.
All right,
So how long have we been going, Steven?
About an hour. So
All right,
Oh my God,
Are we good on this topic, or do you
I think we're good on this topic. We got everything I wanted. I just wanted to get the information out there that I was able to find on what Roe v. Wade was at its core, and it's absolutely atrocious what it is, and it's disgraceful that our Supreme Court pushed it through 7-2. I mean, are you kidding me? Why is that? That's what I wanted to get out to people. I wanted them to be able to have that, because it's like when you hear people and you see them on the street and they're like, the Women's March, second wave feminism was what I call it. It ain't even feminism anymore. It's just I mean, it's just liberal activists. It's paid like BLM. It's funded liberal activist wing of the Democratic Party. It's all it is. Because
It's not lobbyists.
you can't.
It's not a lobbyist group now.
Yeah, it's wrong. Yeah. That's why I just want to get the information out to people, and I wanted to have a conversation, see what people thought. I know most people were going to agree with us. Seems like we're all pretty much on the same page here, and I just felt like it was a good time because we had the 48th year anniversary, and we just thought about that number. We rounded it up, and it was 19% of our, essentially rounded up, 19% of our population never got to exist. Never.
Hold on.
Because of whatever reason.
Because of abortion. Period.
But one thing I also want to say, not sure when I'm cutting out here before, we do cut out though. 1984, a book written by George Orwell. He also wrote another book called Animal Farm. I've not broken into that just yet. So I broke into a book called 1984. I've been reading it. I'm not too far off. I'm like 3/4 in. It's a really good book, and it's relevant to now. It's I'll kind of just give you very, 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 very short and vague description of the story, just so I don't leave any spoilers, because it's all you gotta read it to soak it up. But basically, a guy is living underneath an authoritarian government.
Okay.
And
well, I wanted to answer questions and stuff.
They didn't have a lot of questions. It was just Timmy. I was answering them on
It's
the,
kind of
on the messenger.
It's kind of on par with how the Chinese the CCP dictates its own people, but it's on a more extreme level the way the book goes. But it's an interesting read. It's just over 300 pages, I think. It's like if you buy the paperback off of Amazon or something like that, it's like $8 or whatever. You ought to get that. You guys ought to get that book if you guys are readers. I'm not a reader. I rarely ever read, but it's an awesome book.
Klinko did ask, you can read?
I made it to letter 7, and I can read the book pretty good now. But it's a good book. It's a good book. You guys gotta get it. You guys ought to get it, read it, or even go on to YouTube. They have it to where you can just listen to an audio version of it if you just want to
No, that's probably what I would do, honestly.
And they have a movie. The movie, I just watched a bit of it. It's really compressed, and so you miss a lot of key points of what happens in the book. All the play.
Like most movies, right?
Like most movies, because they are trying to make it, consumable, I guess, more digestible for people, more, appealing. So they make it short. So read the book first, and then watch the movie, and you can see they do as good as they can to stick to the book, but they compress it quite a bit. And it's really good. You guys ought to watch it. Read it, watch it.
Read it, watch it.
Read it, watch it.
Learn it.
1984.
Do it.
Bro, I get why you're good at rapping. You talk real fast.
I know. Sometimes I kind of like.
You gotta read
He's got that Shapiro thing going
Can
on.
you imagine like a ASL person like over here like breaking their fingers like stop, slow down. I can't do it, cramping.
You should run as a liberal because you'll have one of those ASL people up there every time.
They'll be like looking like the rock, not to like some rap music. You see those rapping like ASL? There's some translators, ASL translators, whatever, for like Eminem like concerts, whatever. She like rap guns up. She's going ham. She got the like.
How can you even do that to rap? Like I don't
know,
understand.
but
if they're dancing, I feel bad for the deaf people in the crowd. Why are you listening to music?
Yeah,
they're doing this, and
I think they're watching.
It's
on
like
TV.
for one, if they're grooving to it, it's like they're probably like, "What is she saying?" I can't see.
Did she just say shots fired? I'm gonna rap music video.
Yeah. You gotta have like 2 translators. One that translates the beat, the timing, the guitar, the bass, all stuff.
Yeah.
And one to translate the lyrics.
All right. You got anything else you want to say?
Not off the top of my head.
Are you fucking shitting?
But I do feel like just for a few minutes we need to have some silly goose times because abortion is kind of a dark
Silly goose.
And then I don't want the podcast to be a bummer.
What?
I said I don't want this podcast to be a total bummer.
Yeah.
What's not bummers? Another cool game, like-minded, that's similar to 1984.
Why are you scared?
Bioshock. I'm just trying to just keep it going.
Bioshock.
Bioshock. It's massively massive.
It's massively massive.
So much math in here. I don't know what to do right now.
Any game. So yeah, let's talk about maybe games. You guys playing the games right now? Video games?
I play a lot of Assassin's Creed.
Ooh, which one? I know they got a new one out.
Valhalla.
You been playing that one?
Yeah, man.
I've not touched that one at all.
It affected me on a personal level.
Vacation days.
I know, Bray, because of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I like the game because it's about a secret order that wants to control population because they don't think human will is strong enough to be good with freedom. And to me, it's just
the U.S. deep state.
And to me, I'm just like, man, I'm this cool ass libertarian ideology assassin fighting the damn Democrats. Figuratively.
Yeah, pussies.
It's a video. It's a video game, assholes.
Video games I play, that Call of Duty game. I'm fucking basic. I play
That Call of Duty.
We
game.
play Modern Warfare. We play it all together except for you because you're poor and you don't have internet. I'm
I'm not poor. I just don't want to pay for it.
He's
I'm
like our
lazy.
Kenny.
Oh my gosh. He used to play with us when he wasn't as poor, when he could afford his internet. Now,
Before he got fired.
Now I feel like I gotta go get internet now just to prove you guys I'm not poor or something.
Not poor.
if
not
that's
poor,
the
I'm
way
not
we're
poor.
going to do this, yeah, he's poor as shit, and I bet you he won't have internet by tonight. So,
You know what? I might not be able to afford pants from that point on when I get internet, but I'll do it. I was thinking.
I bet you $20 you won't get internet by tomorrow.
Don't do it.
Well, probably not by tomorrow.
Chinese cafe.
Hell yeah.
Do you know what I like?
No, they don't have
Whoa,
dinner.
We'll get you guys
So,
in a second. We're gonna-
I'll be right back. Keep
We're gonna
talking
go ahead
or
and-
end it. I don't
Yeah,
give a shit.
we're gonna
Just
end
make
her
sure.
out here.
What they have.
Bioshock, yeah.
Bioshock, cool. I just bought a PS4. It's got a PS4 version. It's got the Bioshock 1, 2, and Infinite.
Oh,
and
talking about great games.
Really cool.
Sorry, I'm
I
gonna cut
don't
you
have
off.
any. I have a 64. That's it. I don't have any
What kind of
Nintendos.
What do you want?
I don't care, just get whatever.
But,
I'll eat.
Sesame.
Get one of those big ass combos, yeah.
But all I got for Nintendo is N64.
So let's talk about greatest games. Okay.
Now
okay.
from the top, make it drop.
Smash
That's a
Bros.
word ass pussy.
Smash Bros.
Yeah, my favorite one because I had a GameCube back in the day.
GameCube one,
We
yeah.
don't know Melee.
Oh yeah.
That was my
Dude.
favorite.
What is
I-
that? I've never
When
heard
we
of it.
were
What is that?
nursing our hangovers at his bachelor party, when we were nursing our hangovers, we were playing like 4v4.
I started getting
Really?
good the
We're not
day we
4v4.
left.
All versus all, like 4 people.
Was it Melee?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
No,
the last
I think
one.
it was the newer.
No, it was the newer one.
Brawl.
Yeah, you're
It was
right.
Brawl,
Yeah.
bro.
Super Smash Bros.
No,
Brawl.
yeah, Melee was my
Melee
favorite.
was my childhood.
Yeah,
though,
same
dude.
here.
I played basically Super Smash Bros. And Prince of Persia. I got my parkour, and then I got my.
I didn't
my
play too
Mario.
much Prince of Persia. I didn't play too much. I played
Prince of Persia was a shit.
That game was
First,
awesome.
I never beat
That
the
was
first
like-
one, but I
speaking-
beat the second and third one.
I've beaten all four.
And the one that
I've
came out after the
I've
third
beaten
one.
all four of the like mainline ones. There was this one like reboot one that nobody liked.
That was the one.
But
that came
bringing
out
up
the-
Assassin's Creed again,
3.
Assassin's Creed, the first one, when it was in like early development, it was
That was
actually
cool.
meant to be like a Prince of Persia like
Spin-off.
spin-off kind of game.
Like
Like,
open world.
basically, it was going to be called Prince of Persia Assassin, and basically you were like some assassin protecting the prince as a young boy. And then the guy who was kind of developing the game started looking into the Third Crusade, and that there was actually a group called the Hashishin, which stand in Hebrew or whatever the language was, because they were Syrian, standing for hash smoker. And they were this just group of Syrian assassins who did these political assassinations. There's one cool one, Salahuddin.
Okay. Something
He was kind of leading a siege on their main fortress. And so his army was camped out, not too far away. They sent an assassin in who, like, snuck into their camp, didn't alert any guards. And then there's different tellings of the story. One account says, like, he left a knife with a note and a cake. One said he just left a knife, with a note or something. Either way, he left a message.
Yeah.
Didn't kill anyone, didn't kill him, but it basically was a warning, like, we can get to you. Back the fuck up. And so Salahuddin was like really scared for his life. He took his troops out. He's like, fuck, these guys are psychos. But in real life, their tactic was to like stalk their prey and stuff. But then they would do very public assassinations. They just walk up and run. And then if they didn't run, they got killed. It was kind of almost like the suicide bomber of the day. But these guys, the reason they got the name hash smoker is like these guys were like party animals. Like when they weren't out killing political figures, they were just getting high, boning chicks. They were living a party lifestyle because that's how you got people to recruit. You're like, you're gonna have a really good time here.
Yeah.
Just kill these political assholes.
So they get them all excited.
Yeah.
And then give them a target.
And Hashashin, which stood for hash smoker, that's actually where we get the word assassin nowadays.
Oh, that's crazy.
I think the word assassin came in like the 1500s. It wasn't a thing until then, but it's an offset of Hashashin. You can kind of hear the similarity.
Hashashin, assassin. Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably something just translated in their own language, and that's what it came to.
But yeah, the guy just looked into that and found a really cool story and was like, what if I make like these Templars and these Hashashin assassins, what if I make them like secret orders, you know, guarding like the Ark of the Covenant and stuff? And he made a really cool story, and now, you know, and I don't even know how many games there are now, but
there's a ton.
I'm loving them.
I remember seeing the first trailer.
I do.
So cool. So cool.
I do wish they'd go back to you playing as an actual fucking assassin though, because the past two games you were just some Greek mercenary.
Yeah.
And Assassins didn't exist yet. It took place before the Assassins got founded in the lore. I'm just going to keep going off on this. And then this one, which was cool, you just play as a Viking. Which, I love Vikings, I'm descendant of them. But, like, I want to play as a cool-ass stealthy assassin again.
The old ones.
I don't think they're going to go back to it, though, because these RPG games they're pumping out are making them a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, it sucks that the Assassin's Creed franchise, you don't ever play as an assassin anymore.
Even though you think they make a lot of money off DLC.
The most you get in the later games is like you meet assassins and you like work with them, but you never are an assassin.
So it's not really Assassin's Creed anymore. Just kind of.
No, it's like some dude who came across assassins and helped them out once. It's basically what the games are.
I mean, that's pretty much an assassin to me. I don't know.
Don't piss me off. Don't piss.
What is that?
Alright, we got another comment here. For real though, I'm stuck staying the night at work in Hood. Chinese sounds baller. Bro, I could drive out there, but I'm not going to. I'm
That's
very
such
sorry.
a dick move.
I'm very sorry.
I could come help
Yeah.
you.
That's a far way out
That's going to be a far drive.
Especially the snow.
Without snow, it's like an hour and 10 minutes roughly. But with the snow, it's going to be more, dude. I'm so
way
sorry,
more.
bro. Bruh, I'm sorry.
Not even considering what my
I guess-
guess might be out there.
Another game I really like, going back a little bit, other than Metal Gear Solid was my jam.
Oh, no.
Metal
I've
Gear
been
Solid was
playing
shit.
the
Have you played
Yeah.
Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain?
I
Newer
played
ones?
Phantom Pain, never played Ground
You're-
Zero, because it's a small game, but...
Ground Zeroes was alright. I never beat it. Phantom Pain was really cool, and then
It was cool, but
Xbox, bro.
they screwed it up.
Did they?
Yeah,
I
because there
never
was
beat that
no-
one either. That game was long.
The storyline was just messed up. Like, there was, like, really no content in the story.
See, and I don't know much about the story. I kind of just started in on 5 because I saw, like, the gameplay reveal. I was like, this game looks fucking cool.
It was
And
gameplay amazing.
So I played it, and the gameplay is really cool, and I was like, yeah, I'm, like, stealth killing all these Russians in Afghanistan. This is awesome. And then I had a boss fight with a giant mech robot that was, and I was like, this isn't what I thought it was, and I haven't played it since.
So, if you're ever going to get into Metal Gear
Especially the
Solid-
opening sequence where you see the like floaty kid
Yeah.
with like a gas mask, and then some dude like fire demon. I was like, what the? But then I was just like, whatever.
I mean,
Maybe I'm
little
hallucinating.
Japanese stuff be like this.
I just woke up from a 9-year coma, and then it went to killing Soviets in Afghanistan. I was like, cool military stuff, awesome.
Yeah.
And then I fight a giant mech anime Godzilla robot, and I was like, what? No, and it killed the game for me. I was like, this is not what I thought it was.
Metal Gear Solid, I started playing it from the PlayStation ones. Not I used to when I was really little. I played the originals on the Nintendo and stuff, but I never knew what I was doing. But Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, and 4 were very, very awesome, and they're huge games with huge cinematic storytelling and everything. And I was really excited about the fifth one because one of my favorite actors,
Phantom, right?
Kiefer Sutherland,
he did a really good job though.
But
He's a big
there's
boss.
no freaking content. Like, if you look at any other game that was Metal Gear Solid, you'd be like, what the hell did they do to 5?
So they went from cinematic storylines, all this deep storyline, went to like
He doesn't talk a lot in the
gameplay.
game.
Doesn't even talk in the game. In the most
You
storyline
get
stuff
short
you're getting,
cutscenes like every 6 hours.
yeah, most of the stuff you're getting tapes that you listen to. And talking.
One thing I really
Fallout.
hate, and I know it's part of the genre from the beginning, like I've seen some gameplay of the older games, I hate how the tutorial stuff, because most games try to be like, oh, try doing this. They kind of give you strategic advice. And this is boss, if you need to jump over that edge, remember to press the A button. I'm like, he's not pressing buttons, I am!
Yeah, and
I hate things that
I'm the boss.
break the illusion because I like to get immersed in the game.
Yeah.
But like the game's like bugs. Remember, to reload your gun, you can click the square button. I'm like, what the don't tell me to click the goddamn button.
There's a boss battle in the first one where you're fighting, what the hell's his name? It was, he's the guy who floats. And Psycho Mantis. You're fighting Psycho Mantis in the first one, right?
Yeah.
So he can read your mind.
He can read your memory card. I've seen this.
You move to the second, it's not the memory card, it's the
controller.
The controller. You have to move the controller to the second port because then it can't read what's
it's such a cool little Easter egg.
cool thing, but...
I remember like the coolest part was like the sniper fight with that
I
chick.
remember,
Sniper Wolf.
It was like a big deal, and I've seen it a lot. Apparently, like the Psycho Mantis in that scenario, how he's reading your mind. Apparently, he's something they do with the game. I don't know. It's actually able to read your memory card, and in some instances, he like tells you like games you like to play because he can read your memory card. Which is how it's reading your mind, and he's like, so you're a big fan of Donkey Kong, huh? Or something.
I didn't know that. We didn't really play with him. Oh, I guess we would have played with a memory card.
We didn't have to.
PlayStation 1 memory card. Even PlayStation 2.
It's been a while.
I think PS3 is the first one that had hard drive.
Remember, you used to have little memory cards, and now you have big ass hard drives.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a message.
My goddaughter's a fucking badass.
Let me see this. Wait.
Anyway, this seems like a good cutout point, yeah, guys?
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, guys. This has been awesome. Thanks for popping in, asking questions, all that kind of stuff, and putting in your input.
Shout out there, Sandra and Klinko, two of the people that came in the most and talked. Timbo on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Thank you for the support. The Great Divide podcast on Instagram. Thank you for the support.
He's not hearing any of this.
Darcy, thank you for jumping in and making fun of one of us. That was awesome.
Well, he made fun of me.
This is because you were working out.
Well, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And shout out to the 2024 runners.
We give
Ricky
each other a
Santos.
lot of shit.
Trump, Candace
He
Owens.
loves my wings, though, man. I make him wings every time he comes down to visit.
We are going to do
He
wings
eats like a
as
king when he
one
comes
of
over.
our, maybe next podcast, we'll talk about wings for like 30 minutes or something.
Maybe. I'm going to try to get some guests lined up for either my buddy Jovan for that one or Josh and my dad for the religion podcast.
I'm going to have to bring a muzzle so I don't cuss, because I'm going to...
You're going to try really hard.
I know it's
You guys
me.
are
I'm the one that
shackling
cusses
me
all
up
the
in the
time
closet.
anyway, guys.
I know,
and
he was
I feel
going
like
to try to
we
set the
did a
rule,
really-
don't cuss, let's be
we did a really
family-friendly.
good
He was
job
like,
today.
so fuck this, right?
I only said it a couple times.
Yeah, I made a weed joke earlier.
Sounded it
That was
down.
pretty bad. I'm like, I'm like, what am I doing? Pull the reins, buddy. Pull the reins.
Pull it in!
Stop
Guys,
it.
thank you
Pull
so
it out.
much. Seriously, it's awesome getting the involvement with everybody on the live chats. It helps the conversation go a little better. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and end her.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube and give us a like and comment. It helps the algorithm circulate our stuff more.
And I don't know how to end this podcast.
Buy yourself a copy of U.S. Constitution.
Aha!
Turn on the music.
Get your Bill of Rights.
Oh yeah, I get the music popping.
Buy these things, you need to know them. Look up Title 18, Section 242 of the U.S. Constitution. You will be surprised that there is a countermeasure to politicians and officials who write laws that are not constitutional. There is punishment. They don't act on it. Title 18, Section 242. Run the music.
25% off.
Check us out. Nation is Distressed Podcast. You'll find us on Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe, comment, and get it all done for us. Yay!
2-minute outro. Here we go.
Getting the music up. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh.
Dance for nothing.
Dancing
for nothing.
Don't worry, just praying. Just praying.
Oh, what is that? What is that?
I love this song.
How's your podcast?
Your dad was in.
Yeah, Nessa said that. I'm surprised that Nessa started watching.
He called me gay because I was flexing. And then
Yeah, see, there's a comment right there. I wonder if he's still in. Darcy, if you're still in, here's your daughter. Oh yeah, he's in. Say hi to your dad.
Hi, Dad. Estelle, why have you turned off?
We're just doing the outro. He's so Shut up, Cooper.
Body stack the street, lacing me, want some beat. It poison
Oh, somebody just jumped in. Oh, ready to go.
Oh, I wish, sorry, we're just coming in the show. Sorry to anyone jumping in now. Podcast will be up on YouTube. Just take the whole thing out. Just put it in over an hour.
Let's gonna do some squats.
Enjoy it, go in.
Look at my biceps. It's insane how strong I'm getting already. Look at that. All right, bye everybody. Have a good one.
suffocate.
Ah, no, don't do it.